Melendez, aye. Lopez, Lowe, aye. Santiago, Santiago, aye. That measure passes. Item number 2, SB 881. This measure was on call. Melendez, no. Lackey, no. Lopez, Lowe, aye. Santiago, aye. That measure passes. Item number 3, this measure was on call. SB 882. Melendez, no. Lackey, no. Lopez, Lowe, aye. Santiago, aye. That measure passes. Item number 4, SB 955. Melendez, no. Lopez, that measure passes. SB 966. This measure was on call. Item number 5. Lopez, Lowe not voting. Santiago not voting. That measure fails. Item number 6, SB 1052, Lopez. She's missing. Lopez, aye. Item number 7, SB 1064, was on consent. Item number 8, this measure was on call. SB 1088, Lopez, aye. Lowe, aye. Quirk,
No.
No. Santiago,
SB 1088?
yes, by Senator Nguyen.
No.
Santiago, no. That measure passes. Item number 9, SB 1110. The chair is asking for reconsideration on item number 8, SB 1088 by Senator Nguyen. Joan Sawyer.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I want to make sure all the members of this committee are clear on exactly what we're doing here. So the bill has already passed. The bill has already gotten out. You are asking for it to be reconsidered, to be voted on again, even though it already passed? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you can do reconsideration on any bill that, as long as you haven't closed the recess.
So you're asking for reconsideration because you want the bill to fail?
So that we have an understanding we're taking amendments. And so it has to fail first before we take the amendments. With the author.
The bill is going where from here?
So appropriation.
Can it be amended in the Appropriations Committee? Yes, it can. So why not let the bill through here if she's given you her commitment that she's going to amend the bill?
I'd rather get the recommendations now. I'd rather have it done now.
Well, then I object to the motion for reconsideration. The bill has already passed. Okay, and if the reconsideration vote fails, then the vote stands, right? Okay.
Chair recommends an aye.
On reconsideration, item number 8, SB 1088, Senator Wen's bill. Jones Sawyer?
Aye.
Aye. Melendez? Melendez, no. Lackey? Lackey, no. Lopez? Lowe? Lowe, aye. Quirk? Santiago?
Reconsideration, we're going to vote again. Okay, so we're now going to send it to approps. The chair's recommending that we now send it to approps. If she agrees, if the senator agrees to the suggested amendments.
Sorry, I just ran from the third floor down.
Okay.
Or was it fourth? I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, your question is?
It's my understanding that our office has talked to your office about some suggested amendments so we could send this through to appropriations.
Yes.
And so I'm going to ask the committee to vote aye to get it out of the committee with the recommendations for amendments so we can get it to appropriations.
Mr. Chair, since I am quite new to this chamber, what is the process when it comes to, I heard that the previous vote was already passed.
And then I asked for reconsideration, and we voted for it to be reconsidered.
Okay. Would the reconsideration be the same as previously, or is it with the amendments? Can it go without?
No, this is now reconsideration with the amendments so we can get it to appropriations. It's an agreement that you'll take the amendments. Oh, so you have a commitment in appropriations that you'll take the amendments. It'll be worked out in appropriations.
Chair, I just want a clarification on the amendments. What is the amendments do?
We're working through the amendments. I just needed to get her, the author, to agree to the potential amendments in appropriations.
The amendments would be to, instead of increasing it would be to extend the statute of limitations instead of increasing the penalty.
It's to extend the statute of limitations, what we talked about, so that we could cover the 3 years, 1 to 3 years.
Mr. Chairman, I know what the amendments are,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
1 year from
Madam
today.
Assemblywoman, the amendments is to remove the word felony off of it and allow that when the crime would go up to 3 years for the investigation, but also adds to that once the DA or the investigator finds out whether the perpetrator, whenever they find who the perpetrator is, that's when the date that triggers the crime to be prosecuted. But within that year, it would be a misdemeanor and it cannot be a felony. What we testified earlier was two things. One mainly is to give some light to at least giving these cases another time or some longer length of time, because right now in the current law they only allow to be up to 1 year of investigation. And if we can get that increase to go longer, which would you have to make it a felony to allow the case to continue to be investigated. And if the case is investigated and they find out the individual concealed the body, they then can proceed to then make it a felony and charge as a felony. The amendment itself allows the statute of limitation for the time of investigation up to 3 years. but the crime itself will still remain as 1 year. But it will trigger, though, when the perpetrator is charged, not when the crime occur. So the case could be 5 years from now, and you would be charged, and the DA or the prosecutor can have up to 1 year to prosecute.
It's 1 year from the date of discovery of the crime. The identity of
the identity, yes, the identity of the individual who committed the crime.
Yes.
So I'm. What I'm hoping for, Mr. Chairman, is I apologize. I was in a meeting, my caucus meeting, and if we can maybe reconsider the vote that was previous as the bill is, as it stands, and then see what that vote goes.
We already did that, and then we reconsidered it, and then it would, so we've been down that path.
So my only vote now is to reconsider with the amendments.
Correct.
Mr. Chairman, I believe the vote is on the bill with the agreement to take amendments. We have no amendments before us, so therefore we can't consider them. So the vote is to vote on the bill as is with the, and you want the
Agreed
agreement
upon.
that she will take the amendments. That's what the vote is.
That's what the vote is.
Okay, Mr. Chairman. Yes, I will take the amendments.
Thank you, Senator Nguyen. This committee and this chair really does appreciate it, and we'll continue to work with you on this. I really do want to thank you.
Thank you.
So the chair is recommending I vote with the amendments as agreed upon with the author,
Which will be taken up.
which will be taken up in appropriations.
Yes.
Okay. Item number 8, SB 1088 by Senator Nguyen. Jones Sawyer?
Aye.
Jones Sawyer, aye. Melendez? Aye. Melendez, aye. Lackey? Lackey, aye. Lopez? Lopez, aye. Lowe? Lowe, aye. Quirk? Santiago? Santiago, aye. That measure passes.
That measure passes. Congratulations.
Now we can continue with the rest of our
And now we'll continue with the rest of the votes.
Item number 9, SB 1110 by Senator Hancock. Melendez? Melendez, no. Lopez? Lopez, aye. Lowe? Lowe, aye. Santiago? Santiago, aye. That measure passes. Item number 10, SB 1121, was on consent. Item 11, SB 1134 by Senator Leno. Lowe? Lowe, aye. Santiago? Santiago, aye. That measure passes. Item number 12, SB 1143 was on consent. Item 13, SB 1189 by Senator Pan. Melendez?
13, SB 1189.
Melendez, aye. Lopez? Lopez, aye. Lowe? Lowe, aye. Santiago? Santiago, aye. That measure passes. Item 14, SB 1200 was on consent. Item 15, this measure was on call. SB 1202. Lowe? Lowe, aye. Santiago? Santiago, aye. That measure passes. Item 16, SB 1238. This measure was on consent. Item 17, SB 1322 by Senator Mitchell. Melendez? Melendez, no. Lowe? Lowe, aye. Santiago? Santiago, aye. That measure passes. Item 18, this measure was on call. SB 1332 by Senator Mendoza. Melendez? Melendez, no. Lopez? Lopez, aye. Lowe? Lowe, aye. Santiago? Santiago, aye. Item 19, SB 1399 by Senator Glazier. Melendez? Melendez, aye. Lopez? Lopez, aye. Item 20, SB 1433 by Senator Mitchell. Lopez? Lopez, aye. Lowe? Lowe, aye. Santiago? Santiago, aye. That measure passes. Item 21, this measure was vote only, SB 1004 by Senator Hill. Lackey? Lackey, no. Lowe? Lowe, aye. Santiago? SB 1004, item 21 by Senator Hill. This was vote only. Santiago, aye. Ms. Lopez still has a few. I think everyone else is done.
Mr. Chairman, I have a procedural question that I need to have clarified that will require the chief clerk to come to the hearing. So if the sergeant could call Dotson so he could clarify, please, prior to us departing.
We'll find out.
He's on his way. Okay. Thank you.
Do you mind if I have her
Brian?
do that?
No.
Item number 1, SB 139 by Senator Galgiani. Lopez? Lopez, aye. Item number 2, SB 881. Lopez? Lopez, aye. Item number 3, SB 882. Lopez? Lopez, aye. Item number 4, SB 955. Lopez? Lopez, aye. Item number 5, SB 966. Lopez? Lopez, aye.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Go ahead.
So we just need some clarification on procedure here. We had a vote, item number 8. Item number 8, we conducted the vote. The vote was affirmative. It got out of committee. That was announced by the secretary. And then the chairman immediately asked for reconsideration of that bill, which was then voted on. My question is, does the previous vote have to be rescinded before you go forward with the reconsideration vote?
No, reconsideration just reverses the prior action. In fact, we specifically asked that committees not rescind the action on bills because under our joint rules, Joint Rule 62, each bill is afforded one opportunity to be reconsidered. So if you rescind the action whereby it failed or passed, it basically gives the bill another bite at the apple in terms of passing again. So the reconsideration motion was properly put before the committee.
So a bill that does pass the committee can be, or any bill, I guess, whether it fails or passes, can be immediately...
Yes, it can be subject to reconsideration. It's provided in Joint Rule 62. In fact, you couldn't reconsider it after it left the committee.
Right.
It would have to be done at that particular hearing on a measure that passes. On a measure that fails, you can notice reconsideration at another hearing. And by the way, I'm Brian Everett. I'm Assistant Chief Clerk and Parliamentarian.
Well, that's a great dirty trick that the Assembly has up its sleeve. Thank you.
Joint Rule 62 is where you can find that rule.
Thank you very much. We stand adjourned.